All right, we are just about done packing up. Just thought you guys like to see that. From bottom all the way to the top. And we got 3 people in here too. There's Shotgun Mike. And Dave and Deb. Got the ear on. Let that baby cool down. Always gotta do the final walkthrough. Make sure we have everything. Yep, looks clean. Looks like we got it. Alright. Thank you. We shall see. I think David's in the restroom. Mike's gonna get a cigarette before we go.
Yep.
And it's the Blue Monkey. Never got to do a shot from the outside. There we go. Blue Monkey Bar and Grill. And the car, and Mike. It's in a shopping center here. And beautiful. Just love living out here. But I tell you, ever since coming to visit as a kid, coming down on family vacations, first time I came to Florida, had it in my heart, this would be my time. This guy has no shirt on. It's not that kind of a show. It's not that kind of a bar. David. There you go.
You're ready to go. All right, buddy, take care, man. Have a great night now. Thank you so much.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Good night. All right.
Alrighty.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Mike, got enough nicotine?
Yeah.
Look at the car. What's on this? Oh, it's Bugs. Oh, is it Bugs? Hell yeah, it's Bugs. I'm getting in the car.
Oh. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Click it, right?
Click it or
Okay,
two.
now, hold on. I got my drink here. I gotta put my glasses on. See? Yeah. So, the ride home, my friends. Another packed house. It was epic. It was awesome. Standing room only again. Security escorted us out. Probably thinking, what kind of bullshit? Oh, how did I turn the camera around? Oh. Oh, there it is. It turned around. Okay. There we are. We got guitar. My mic's behind one of the guitars, man. Shit.
I'm back here.
We're back here. Yeah, Mike's back here, man.
I'm guarding the equipment.
He's guarding the equipment. Woo! So, yeah, had a lot of fun, man. Those girls seem to have a lot of fun dancing to Fly Like an Eagle.
Yeah. I lost my spot.
That's okay.
I suck tonight.
Nah, you're hanging in there, Mike. This is the band. The band was off. And then I never seen anyone dance to that song. You know?
No.
It's the liquor. That's what it is. It's
That's
the
it.
liquor.
It works every time.
It works every time. Exactly. So, let's see. Well, it's 11:54. That means it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Woo, boy, I'll tell you, man.
What a night.
Yeah. But you know, just keep going and have fun.
Yep.
How would it? You know? At least I got a Coke to go.
There you go.
So I guess Pepsi must be a northern thing, they said. No one's got Pepsi down here.
Well, most of your bars is,
Yeah,
you know, Jack and Coke.
that's true. I guess I've never heard of Jack and Pepsi. You
Now,
know?
a lot of your restaurants do Pepsi.
Ah, that's what that is. Well, I could say, hey, these guys are restaurants. So remember, there used to be a time where you had Coke, Pepsi, and RC. You had a
RC
variety.
Cola.
Yep. And then you were able to have a choice. Now it's like you have no choice. Take it or die.
That's it.
Yep. I'd be like when I hear the guys vaping. You know, when I these live chats, a lot of these guys, they'll vape and it sounds like they're hitting a bomb. Yeah. Hey, I guess if that could help them off the cigarettes. Excuse
I
me.
look at it as just starting another habit.
Yeah, that's
It's actually a more expensive habit.
yeah. Yeah, with all the equipment and everything.
It's cheaper to smoke.
Yeah. I guess, man. So yeah. But yeah, it was I didn't forget the socks, Deb. Got nuts. You got balls.
Not forget the socks.
These nuts.
Yeah, these nuts. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So yeah, you know, people that come in and they go out and they go on the patio, then they come back in and, you know, they get another drink and then they go back out in the patio and then they got smoke and they come back inside. And then they come back, they go back out and come back inside. But you know what? Mr. Jim Giedrich. Hey, Jim Giedrich. How you doing, my friend? Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you, man. Now, Jim Giedrich is a guitarist that does, he does recordings, you know, on YouTube with his son.
Oh, okay.
And just jamming and having a great time. And then they're also part of the show called Our Metal Stage podcast.
Cool.
And they just hang out and they talk about gear and guitars and that. And Jim is a few months older than me, so he definitely goes back to the days, man, when people were jamming. He lives in Louisiana. Shreveport, I think it is. I forget. I got a bad memory, man. I forget myself if I wasn't attached to myself. I thought, oh shit, I forgot Dave. But yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana, close to Texas and Oklahoma.
Oh.
So he's in that area. Now, yeah.
I've got family from Elwood, Indiana.
Oh, Elwood, Indiana.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, so, I don't know, Jim, do you ever go to the Dallas Guitar Show? Have you ever been to that? Because they have Dallas Guitar Show. It's like a NAMM show, but people could go in and they could actually buy stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Yeah, they could go in and buy. The NAMM show, you can't. It's business to business. No, Dave, I haven't. Yeah, sometimes it's expensive. You know, some of these trade shows to get in is, you know, kind of ridiculously expensive. Deb and I were at one. Remember at at the Odeum in Villa Park? And the vintage guitar show. Oh man, this guy had I don't know what year, maybe it was a 57 Black Beauty, Gibson Les Paul Custom. You know, it was old. You could tell it was aged, you know. I mean, it was looking kind of rough. He wanted $110,000 for this thing. And I'm thinking, all right, well, that's nice. But I think for $110,000, I could. The houses we used to build, Reinert's houses. Remember, there was a ranch houses with a basement, unfinished basement, and you had the option to finish the basement. He was selling those for $110,000. Now, what would I want to buy? I mean,
Guitar.
Yeah, well, the guitar would be nice, yeah. But $110,000, man, that's hard to spend that.
Pocket change.
Pocket change. We'll buy
Pocket
one of
change.
each color, right?
Yep. One for each gig.
One for each gig, and spin it around, right? Yeah. Oh, hey, Michael B, you're very welcome, my friend. Yeah, made my night. Oh, well, thank you so much, man. Yeah, Jim, laugh out loud, right? $110,000, and then a guy at this trade show was selling this beat up Fender Strat. I think it was the early '60s. He wanted $36,000 for this thing, and it looked like it was in someone's moldy basement like forever, and just I mean, it's even smelled bad.
Damn.
Now, why in the hell want to spend $36,000 for this? You know,
The smell.
does it smell? That's right. Yeah.
You don't buy quality smells like that just anywhere.
That's right. But it's worn in all right. Oh, shit. Oh. But I mean, if you're a collector, I see value.
Maybe the dude plays with his ass.
I bet he
like,
does.
you pick with your teeth, maybe
He picks with his ass. That's right. Yeah, that's right, man. A little brown there.
The dingleballs.
The dingleberries.
The dingleberries. That's right.
Right?
Now we're just getting personal.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, okay. We gotta stop.
Oh, my
We
God.
gotta stop. We're offended.
Yeah.
Getting offended.
I'll tell you what, one thing with the metalheads and all my friends out here that's on YouTube and Mike, no one gets offended, you know?
Nope.
We're not, yeah, we come from the
all
good
in
old
good
days.
fun.
It's all in good fun.
Yes.
Yeah, you know? But no, yeah, I mean, we have a great time doing these gigs, you know?
We know nothing about guessing what color underwear you have on tonight. Giving you a wedgie on stage so we can see.
Well, I was looking.
Actually, what?
No, it'd be like the Fokker and his jock strap on display.
Never did get a fifth collar.
Yeah, right? 9th place. Ah, shit.
So proud of it.
It was very proud of it. Yeah. He was conceived with one working testicle.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, sometimes all you need is one.
That's right. Hey, Sinner, what's happening, brother? Rock and roll, man. That's all it takes is one, right?
Yep. One good one.
One good one. And guess what came out? Gaylord Fokker.
Dave's got the socks.
I got the socks.
Got nuts.
Got nuts. Oh,
Should be caught nut.
right?
The left one and the right one.
Like Deb says, you got 3 knees: a left knee, a right knee, and a weenie.
Hey, don't put that on me. I learned that from you boys.
I only have 2 left nuts. I wasn't given a right.
Wasn't good too.
That's why
They're all twisted.
That's why you lean to the left.
Yeah. Do I spin in circles?
You're not balanced.
It's not balanced, right?
It's not balanced.
Oh, shit. Well, things do happen in life, right? Oh, my God.
What you got, you know?
That's it, man. You did the best you can with the tools you got. Some people don't even have a tool. In this generation, had it. Oh, man. But, yeah, so, yeah, you know, we just love jamming out and have a good time, you know. That's really always the bottom line. Are you having fun? You know, if you're having fun, what the hell, right?
That's right.
You know, I know things have changed drastically, you know, and I read this one article. This guy said, you know, music is everywhere, so some people are just so burnt out. It's like they don't care, you know. But I'll tell you what, if it were to go away completely, it'd be missed like that. People would say, "Man, what's going on, man?"
What would I do with my spare time?
Right? Sit and listen to the news radio.
I do enough of that now as it is.
Yeah. Oh shit. But yeah, you know, one thing I noticed today and last week's show there, the floor was not slippery. When it rains down here, these floors, I think it's almost like that vinyl floor because it gets real slippery.
Yeah.
And you slip slide, and you got to be careful when you start going out and trying to rock out and you fall on your ass.
Cheap shoes.
Cheap shoes, man. We used to have these cheap shoes from Goldblatt's. We used to call them slip and slides because that's what you would do, slip and slide, man. So yeah, no, I really appreciate everyone tuning in and having a good time and sitting back and, getting a chance to see how things are down here and,
Have any questions?
Yeah, if anyone's got any questions, yeah, go ahead. Fire away, my friends. We'll see if we can come up with some sort of an answer. Might not be the right one, but it'll
Give it the old college try.
Yeah, we'll give it the old college try. Oh, shit. Yeah, we just enjoy ourselves, because it's just a lot of fun.
No hard questions.
No hard questions, I did graduate in the Chicago public school system. Did Plan B become Plan A? Well, right now, Plan A and Plan, they're kind of like intertwining, Michael B. Yeah, on Facebook, Robin Shearer added a photo in with a heart love. Was someone sending us hearts and,
It's our fans.
Yeah, it's our fans.
Our two
yeah.
fans.
Yeah. like that guy's two moms. Yeah. No. So let's see. Did Plan B become Plan A? Well, you know what? In a way it did, because when I said earlier about Plan B, and really Plan B is you taking control. So basically, I guess Plan B did become Plan A. And when I was saying earlier today that you do have some people out there that are pretty sneaky, but not everyone is like that. So I'm not trying to paint a bad picture. No matter it's all doom and gloom. So for people that are like that, then if you put yourself in the driver's seat, it's just easier, I guess. For us, it is.
Yeah. And we went with Plan A as long as we could.
Yeah.
Always having the Plan B, and yes, we don't have to put a camera.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to.
Sometimes she's have to think. Okay.
So.
You don't want them to see her swerving all over the road.
Yeah. And we got CDL license too.
So exactly, that's even part of our Plan B. Was we have CDL licenses for 10 plus years now.
Oh yeah.
And because now we're at that point where we have forecasted out our retirement, and if we want to retire, and we will always have the music, we will always play shows, and work this stream of income. However, we're not going to always be able to, for me, I'm not going to always be able to have the good job I have right now down here. So taking that job full time allows us now to save up for retirement. So yes, Plan B is now Plan A because we are X amount of years from retirement.
Yeah.
And we need to catch up. So it was a tough decision, but as the years ticked on here, and of course then when a good job is offered to us,
you take it.
Dave and I talked about it for like 2 seconds, and I told him that, hey, I got offered this job, and because when I got the call and offer the job, I told him I'd call them back. talk to Dave, and they understood. And 2 seconds later, after telling Dave, okay, I got off of that job, he's like, call him back and tell him take it. He'll take it. So
Yeah.
I did. And
Mr. Joe Wentz, how are you, my friend?
Joe!
Now, this guy, Joe Wentz, he's an awesome guitar player. He lives in, I think Joe is in Carolina. I want to say he's in Carolina. And he drives a truck. He's got a CDL license. And he puts videos of him jamming. He'll do some covers and just jamming away. And he's a really good guitar player. Oh, yeah. You're very welcome, Joe. Awesome guitar player. And he has helped a lot of guys understand how things work on YouTube. As far as like doing streaming and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing Mike and I could do too, because Mike's got he's got an awesome setup in his garage, man, and it just looks so cool, Mike, when how you got that set up, man.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with it.
and I had said this before. I think it's for people that are having a hard time, playing in bands and things of that nature. Just put up videos like Joe Wentz stuff, man. He does a lot of kick-ass videos. And I think he was talking about, his guitar that looks like, jam with us online, yeah. Now this guy, Michael B, see right now, Michael, I'm doing everything from my phone. I really hope that I would be able to do that. And I think what I'd have to do, and you might have said this, about you have to actually basically have like a landline or get on a good computer for latency's sake. So yeah, maybe in the near future we could do something like that, because it would be great jamming with you guys. Because I saw this one video you had up there and I thought that was awesome. Yeah, Jam Kazam has to be on a computer. Oh yeah, see, yeah. We are still, how about it, Deb? We are still trying to get things where we have like a basic setup where we can record and everything. Even though it's going to be 1 year we've been down here, July 28th. But this is the reality. We got down here August 5th. We started gigging and we just started hitting it. And there's still unpacking we have to do. How about it? Or at least I know. Yeah, we're not done unpacking. So, but yeah, thanks so much, Michael B, for that information, because that will be definitely a great goal to do. Plus, with my vocals here, Mike and I, we could do stuff on YouTube, because I know YouTube is the totally new platform for any musician. If they want to get out there, and let's say they can't, and maybe people hold them back, or life gets in the way, and I shouldn't say life gets in the way. I don't see it as a bad thing, but life is life. That's reality. So, and that goes back to answering the plan A and the plan B. Oh yeah, I looked into Jam Kazam. It would be cool if you have, the correct setup. Yeah, Joe, that's right. You got to have the correct setup, at least for right now, because I think Jam Kazam is in the infant stages right now. I think what's happening, all these manufacturers, all these companies are starting to see that now YouTube is the new platform, and there's so many YouTube stars coming out that if you notice, when you go to Guitar Center, compared to back in the 1980s, you would see Marshall stacks. I do remember a friend of mine worked at Guitar Center, and he had five 100-watt Marshall stacks hooked up, and they were daisy chained. And I think he had it set up because someone was going to come and buy him or rent him, whatever it was. So he needed to have it set up so they could come and check it out. But he tells me, he says, Dave, check this out. Plug in and just play a first position A power chord. So I did. And he didn't have to turn it up that loud, and that whole room was shaking, man. You could feel the floor. You could feel your hair move. That's how loud this thing was. I'm like, holy shit. He was like, wow. It was just massive, massive, massive sound,
Like Back to the Future.
Oh my God.
Old amp.
Yeah, and it just blows you right out to the next room, man. Like, holy shit. But you see, nowadays, you go in Guitar Center, and the biggest amp they'll have is the 212 combo, you know? And it's because what has been happening, all these manufacturers are seeing that YouTube is taking over, and people are just, they're just gravitating to it. So I think it's a great thing, man.
Like venues are getting smaller.
Yeah, venues are getting smaller. You know, they pull out a stage and they stick tables in there because they want people to sit and buy food and drinks. So stages get smaller and smaller, and you know. So yeah, Plan B becomes the Plan A.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
Because we're having fun. We're
Yeah.
still having fun.
You know, the reality.
Still performing.
Yeah.
Still making money with
Exactly.
music.
Yeah,
Except now we can actually
we could have fun. We don't have to
put
feel like.
money away for retirement.
Yeah, put money away for retirement, and we don't have to have that stress of trying to rely on it,
Yeah,
because
there's no financial stress now.
it is very tough if you are doing music 100% as your income, and we were doing that. And I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, that was stressful.
That was stressful. In the beginning stages, we were seeing, it was fun. You know, in the beginning stages, we were seeing an annual growth, and that was cool. But the reality was that we came from, we were always doing our music, okay? But we always had our business helping us out, you know, and that was our business. Okay, so then when the housing market crashed, you know, we were able to sell the businesses and get out before, you know, bad things happened, right? So now there was no more building, there was no more that, and that's why we went and got our CDL license. Always have that backup system. So we went from having solid, steady income, and like Deb had said, just one of her contracts in the construction was a $500,000 annual contract, and that was one of the builders. Plus, she had other builders. So yeah, there was we were making good money. And then after that, we were able to do good with the music, and we did all our traveling, and it was fun, and we were seeing growth. But when we started getting those little bumps, that's when it would get real nervous, because we knew that it's not steady work, you know. Like when Deb said, if in music she sells one contract, that's just for that day. Sometimes it's very hard to get like a Vegas act contract. I mean, you know, it's so saturated. That's what's going on. And then you have bias out there. And if a person tells me, wants to think that there's not bias out there, they're going to be fooling themselves. There is bias out there. You know, you just got to understand that's just how that is, and there's ways around it. And part of that way around is just saying, you know what, the hell with this. I'm going to take charge, and I'm not going to rely on these people, because, trust me, I've caught people lying to me. And I don't want to drop names because I'm not into bashing people, but, you know, I just have a real hard time when they try to BS me. You know, we've been around the block. You know, there's nothing. There's no reason why a person cannot be straightforward and honest. You know, so but that's them. You know, the hell, right? We like to enjoy and have a great time, so that's what we do. Yeah, there's our Metal Stage podcast. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. How many bands has Mike been in? Mike, how many bands have you been in?
3.
3?
3.
Nice.
One was for 8 years, the other one was for a year, and the third one was less than a year.
Nice. Nice.
Can you share any more about that, Mike? About your 3 bands you were in? Feel like sharing?
Oh. Will it be a Joe went, will it be a Wendy's night tonight? Yeah, that's right. Remember? Because they saw when we were trying to go to the drive-thru.
We're going to have to try to find a McDonald's or something, because apparently the Wendy's up by my house doesn't know what open late means.
Yeah. They're hiding out.
They leave the lights on and everything. You pull up and they're like,
They're like, oh shit.
nobody's
Wait.
there.
We'll find you a McDonald's tonight, but in 2 weeks when we're back at the Blue Monkey, we're going to hit that McDonald's fast on the way out.
Okay. I don't care.
All right.
I'm good.
We'll take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something. And they dodged us. I'm like, what the hell is this? See, this is the secret of how you yell out, hey guys, there's free beer out here. Then, oh shit, the lights go on, the clothes go back on, and it's time to party. Oh, God.
Yeah, the lights were on at that point.
Of course.
They were on.
They were
It's
on.
like once we pulled up, shut them off.
That's right.
It's like my cousin Vinny. Every time I try to shoot a video out in the Lanai, the lawnmower goes on, a plane goes by. It's like, what is this?
I remember when we went to get gas that one time at Walmart. We pull up to the pump, lights are all on. We get out, we pull the handle off the machine, and they shut the lights
They
off.
shut the lights off.
Shut it all off, and they're standing there at the pump in our hand.
Yeah.
They just turned it off.
They just turned it off. They're trying to tell us. They're trying to get rid of us.
Panic on their end when they probably someone looked up and said, "Someone's at the pump."
They don't know how.
Turn it
No,
off."
they don't know how to make change for $1. They're nervous. They got nervous. How do I do a change for
Holy shit, we
$1?
got a customer. Shut everything down.
Shut it down! Holy crap! They're gonna find out how stupid we are. We're closed.
What's this world coming to? Why would they want to buy something from me?
That's right. You know, put them on third shift and hope for the best and expect the worst. Back in the day, we would hit up the Waffle House after a gig. Yep.
I was almost gonna suggest
Not all
that,
the
like,
time, just every once in a while. Yeah. Joe wins. See, Waffle House, we have Waffle Houses in southern Illinois, but where we lived, we never had up in the northern. Perkins, yeah, there's another Perkins.
Oh my God.
And then we got Denny's. We would all have Denny's. We had,
Denny's, yeah.
yeah, I know Denny's is down here. We had Denny's up in Illinois. After the late night gigs we would do these all age shows, and there'd be like 3 bands and be out late, and then everyone go to Denny's. There was this one gig we did. This was in Downers Grove, Illinois, a place called North Beach. And these kids decided to bring in this trampoline, and it was a hardwood floor. Remember that? It was like a punk rock band. Everyone's rocking out, and these kids are jumping up and down on the trampoline, and there comes the manager. Holy shit. We're going to get in trouble if someone hurts themselves. Oh.
Scuff up the floor, bro.
Yeah, scuff up the floor, and then they fall and hit their head. Next thing you know, mom sues them.
Oh yeah. That was definitely an insurance claim.
Oh my God! And the booking agent, this guy was a trip. Because he's trying to play his game with me, and I told him, I says, Joey, we played there a couple weeks ago, and these kids bring in a trampoline, so they wouldn't want a band. We were doing an all ages show there, and the name of the band was called Screams of Winter, and they were kind of like a power metal, like Iron Maiden, and all they were able to afford was the earlier versions of the Marshall MG series amplifiers, little combos. These kids kicked ass, man. They just sounded great. And this guy that was a booking agent said because their names sounded too heavy, he didn't think he could book them. And I told him, I said, well, I was at this place about 2 weeks ago, and these kids bring out a trampoline. So what's worse? Kids bringing out a trampoline, bouncing all around, risking a lawsuit, or the name of a
Like
band?
there's a Burger King at this exit. You want a
Okay,
Burger King?
that's fine.
I guess we'll go through Burger King, my friends. Let's see if they let us
There's a
in.
cheeseburger.
Broiled's better than fried.
That's right. What was the best gig you ever played? The one that always comes to mind. Well, you know, Joe, I only say this because it was so surreal playing this gig. Is when we did the gig for NATO in Brussels, Belgium. That was definitely that was like one of the top gigs there because
yeah, Brussels, Belgium, yeah.
holy crap, because I'm sitting there and I'm playing for these people and I'm looking and I can't. Yeah, and you got all these people that you'd see on TV. They're the ones watching me. And I'm, when we were in Cabo San Lucas, I met Michael Anthony from Van Halen. He was in the pool with Deb and our friends. And we were talking with Michael Anthony. This was when we were sending demos and promos to join Trans-Siberian Orchestra because Trans-Siberian Orchestra at that time there was 2 of them. It's the same company, but because they they only have X amount of time to do these Christmas shows. It's like the Blue Man Group. They would have to separate, the two. And so the
Here's
one
a steak and shake. That'll be fine.
Oh, you want to take a chip?
Yep.
Steak and shake is good a rule. Yeah, but Michael Anthony was a kick-ass guy to talk to, man. It's like talking to one of your bass player, man. He wasn't like one of these arrogant people that they're better than everybody, and it's an honor for you to even be saying, Mr. Zach Dong, how are you doing, my friend? Rock and roll, buddy. And he wasn't one of these, big-headed guys that, his crap don't stink, and, it's an honor for you to be standing in the same planet as they are, That's a bunch of horse shit right there, man. But no, Michael Anthony was a great guy. And then I did a jam at NAMM show in McCormick Place, 1989, jammed with Adrian Vandenberg in the PV booth. He kept asking me if I went to GIT and what school I went to. I said, I'm pissed. I'm basically piss ass poor, and I like to practice.
That line takes.
He couldn't understand that, But I mean, he was a good guy, very, very good guy. And then we did the show with Joe Stump, which Joe Stump is kind of like Yngwie Malmsteen. He's a professor at Berklee College of Music. He's a really cool guy, man. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of. But I have to say, Joe, the gig we did for NATO. Yeah, no problem, Mike. The gig we did for NATO, man, that was surreal, And part of that was, because I could do like the flamenco style guitar.
You could go and take them and steak and shake.
Yeah, I guess we were going. I guess.
We're gonna unplug you.
Yeah, we're going steak and shake, guys, and let's see what happens.
away.
Yeah,
Some
we
fun.
get a shake or something, Dad. We're gonna.
Oh, you want something?
Yeah, okay. See, look at this. Another person we met was Bo Diddley. Now we met Bo Diddley, and I didn't even know he was down here. It was at a guitar clinic. It was at a music store. Sorry, guys. It was a music store in Newport Richey, and it was called Encore Music, and that's actually where we bought our Hughes and Kettner amp. And I have a guitar called Camelot Guitars. I'll show you what that guitar looks like. So we bought the guitar, and we were going to be there in Dorsey. And one of their endorsees was the band Slaughter. Anyways, so Bo Diddley tells us a musician's dog. He said, don't ever forget that. He was a really cool guy, real. But he's doing his guitar clinic, and So, yeah, I'll take one to go. See, I'm trying to get a shake to go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, see that?
Steak and shake. What do you guys want?
We're buying. I guess a
Ooh,
chocolate.
look at that cereal shakes. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow, Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
What's that? Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. I don't know about that one, man. Just a chocolate and vanilla would be fine. Half and half.
Is that a side by side?
Yeah, I guess it's side by side. So,
Chocolate and vanilla.
let's see. Live at Steak and Shake. Yeah, Joe wins. No, but we, I like a lot of you guys out there. I'm sure you've done a lot of shows where some of your best shows really just also jamming with your friends, It's to me, honestly, I think those really are the most special ones. When you get to jam with your friends and you're really enjoying yourself, it doesn't matter if the place is packed or not. Because we done a thing called Peace Fest. Yeah, it was Peace Fest in Chicago, downtown Chicago. And how I got that gig is sorry about this, guys. We were at this place called, oh my God, I can't remember the name. How can I remember the place of this? I'll remember later. It was in Downers Grove. It was an Irish place. And they had open jam. A friend invited me down. So on one of my acoustic guitars, on my Breedlove, I've got the Roland. I have the Roland GR33 guitar synth at the time. Now I have the GR55.
like to get
I'm gonna stand in the lobby there because this is getting kind of loud. Anyways, so yeah, so I do this jam with my guitar synth, and I did Metallica's Nothing Else Matters, and I'm doing the looping, and I'm playing the guitar rhythm, and then I'm adding the bass part, and the bass was very, very strong, and they had their 15-inch subwoofers. It was a place called Ballydoyle's. That's what it was called, Ballydoyle's. So I'm doing this jam. The guy and his wife are sitting there that run Peace Fest downtown Chicago, and his wife, she comes up to me and she says, "How you getting that sound?" She says, "That just sounds so kick-ass and so clear." And I'm showing her, and she says, "Hey, would you like to do Peace Fest downtown Chicago?" So we do that gig, and Peace Fest, Peace Fest is exactly what you might think. Woodstock, weed. It's like Weed Fest. They're smoking weed. Back in the day, the cops would run everybody out, but now it's a festival, right? So everyone's getting hired on a kite, and there's like 3,000 people out there, and there's all these hippies and that. And you would think that this festival would be so mismanaged and badly ran, but it actually was one of the most organized festivals we did. And these people were stoned out of their gore, and they're running this thing so awesome. It was unbelievable. But I don't know how many shows we've done over the years, man. Oh my God. I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, maybe more. I don't know, you know. But really, guys, you know, the best shows is when you just jam with your buddies, man. You know, and you're having a good time. I think really those, because they're magic. There's something magical about it. I feel like I'm in a cartoon. Let's see what. Here's Mike. He's trying to win something. Let's see.
dirty, rotten.
It's an empty box. We are going to do an unboxing of an empty box.
I won one time in here for $1. I won one of those virtual goggles you put your phone in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won that
Virtual
here.
reality. You know? I still go back to days of Etch-a-Sketch. That's my virtual
first
reality.
iPad.
Yeah, the first iPad. Etch-a-Sketch. Yeah, it was an Etch-a-Sketch. Oh my God. Oh, but yeah. So it's a good life. It's a good life when you're enjoying it, right? You know. It's just really sometimes too bad when everyone's trying to fight for these festivals now, and they come up with excuses not to hire you because you don't have a band, or you're not this, or you're not that. It's like, you know what? And then no one pays. So has anyone got any questions out there? Why I listen to the cartoon music, man.
Dirty,
Yeah.
filthy.
Right. Look at it. See, it's a picture of a phone, but it's really...
It's actually a bicycle mount for your phone.
Oh, that's what it is.
Because I'm on the bike these days.
Oh, okay. That's what I should do with this, you know, when I ride the bike, drive right through our area. But, you know, like the gigs, and we were talking about earlier how Guitar Center, their whole inventory, like the biggest amps still have would be like 212 combos in that. A lot of them sound great. And I do love tube amps, man. There's something magical about a tube amp. They just have that warmth, and they have power, but strength. But so Deb's Mike was playing this thing. It sounded like clown music or a cartoon. I like.
$3 trying to get that audio olives.
But like the Boss Katana amp, that thing sounds great, man. You know. I think out of all the amps out there that are not really modeling but have built-in effects.
I was telling him
Oh yeah, Michael B. Yeah, that's right. You got the Katana 100, right? Now, is it the 212 combo or is it the 112 combo?
It had a virtual reality.
Yeah, it's this great sounding amp. You know,
Yeah, I got it first try.
the 112, nice. What's nice with the 112 combo amps, when you're in situations where you don't have a whole lot of space, those things work great. They work fantastic, and I mean, I like the sound of 212s, and I still have I have a crate half stack, but my 412 cabinet is the one with the Celestion 75s. So it's the 412 cabinet that was really geared for the Blue Voodoo. So it has stereo ins, and it's got an output to daisy chain to other cabinets. And it's got a selector for 4, 8, and 16 ohms. And then I just got the cheap GT Series 100 head, because I was just using the head for a power amp. And I think sounds great. And what I like about it, it's not super heavy. But there's the way everything has changed. There's like really hardly any room. The stage we were playing on tonight, if you stick a whole band on there with big amps, you're not gonna have that much room. Yeah, Joe, when she got the 100-watt Katana head into a PV 412 cabinet, yeah. I tell you what, PV makes great stuff too, man. You know. But your Katana head has a little speaker in it, which I think is brilliant. You know, so if you don't have anything to hook up, you could still play and get sound out of that speaker. Never tried it, never heard it to see how it really sounds. Yeah, it is an awesome amp. I remember I plugged in before we left Illinois. I was in Guitar Center in Naperville, Illinois, and I plugged in an Ibanez guitar into the Katana 50, little 112 combo. I was completely blown away by the amount of sustained feedback I was able to get, controlled feedback, you know, and I was able to roll my volume down and it cleaned up. Yeah, the 50 watt does have a sweet speaker. It does, Michael B. It's got a really nice speaker, and it's light and it's small. And I remember one of the guys I talked to about this, Mark from Victoria Amplifiers, not Victory Amps, but Victoria Amplifiers. He makes really awesome custom-made tube amps. And one of his endorsees was Buddy Guy, amongst other people. And I was talking with Mark, because we were the judges at Guitar Center's Battle of Blues. This was a few years back, and I was talking with Mark about, you know, making smaller amps and make them light. And I says, you know, if he could have another line of amps that would run on batteries and things of that nature. And that's not his thing, and I respect that. But I told him, I said, Mark, I'm telling you right now, everything is changing out there, and it would be a good idea to have another division so that you could accommodate this change, so that if your higher end amps are not really easy to sell, because a lot of people can't afford some of the stuff, have another division, even if you want like a, you know, slap a different name, but it's still under your company name, so that you could have money coming in. And I think what Hartley PV done over the years was really brilliant, because back in the 80s, I had 2 or 3 PV Special 130 amps, and then I also had a PV Special 150 amp, 150 watt combo that they made, and I should have kept that one because it's very rare. But you know, it had the channel switching, the distortion with the saturation. The high had a pull for a pull thick sound, like a mid boost. And it wasn't really, actually, I'm gonna throw this out, guys. It really wasn't a great sounding amp at all. And this is back in the 1980s. And in the 1980s, we would never expect to see, wow, there's no garbage can. What is this place, man? Oh my God, what is this? Look at that. You gotta go into the men's room for a garbage can. Isn't that nice? It's not rocket science. Just have a garbage can, see? You have food, garbage, a garbage can, right? Anyways, so no one would expect Peavy to surpass. Oh, thanks, hon.
I'm gonna get you some napkins out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
It'll be
I.
10 hours to get
Oh yeah, I know. It's like it's yeah. I keep getting interrupted. That's unbelievable. But no one would expect Peavy to ever take over as one of the amps that was making their move and making their name in the metal circuit. You know what I mean? How are you liking the new Ibanez? Oh yeah, Joe, I like it a lot, man. I like it a lot. It's very reliable and it's very comfortable for me to play. Part of it is because it only has the belly contour. It does not have the arm contour. And I remember you said when you started playing guitar, you started with a Stratocaster. So what you start on, you really get used to playing. I started on a Checkmate guitar. That was my first electric guitar. Oh, thanks, Deb. Napkins. We're ready to rock and roll. Sorry, guys. Anyways, I started on a Checkmate guitar. Had no contours. Then my next guitar was a Magnum Les Paul copy. And then my first really good guitar was my Ibanez Artist. And no problem, Mike. I'm all right, buddy. So I got used to guitars that did not have that arm contour.
Are you serious? You gave me a fry?
Yeah.
We're coming out of Steak and Shake, and they screw up everyone's orders because, you know, think about this, guys. Let's see, it's fries, there's customers, this is top secret, this is like really hard. How do we do this? You know what was hard for me? When I went to trade school for HVAC, okay? And that's how that, you know, I know I'm jumping subject here, and I apologize about that, but I'm just making a comparison here. The math part and the sizing was tough for me. It really was, you know.
One sandwich?
No, I got.
So,
Oh, okay.
but I put effort to it. These people work at these restaurants. They put no effort into it, and it's hard. There's a customer. What do we do? Well, why don't you ask the customer what they want? You know, why don't you just deal with it, right? So,
Part of the fun.
okay, I gotta find a way. Deb, do you think you can hold this real quick while I put on my seatbelt? Because I gotta click it or ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Anyways, I'm talking about my guitar, right? So I'm liking my Ibanez.
This up, too.
So my Ibanez, my new Ibanez, does not have that arm contour. So that's why I like it. These people give me a bag that I can't get my hands in, right? They stick the drink in there. I don't understand this. It's like,
Are your hands swollen?
yeah, I mean, it's like, what is this? See? This is called life, my friends.
Have you been fondling something all night to where your hands are swollen?
Okay. I don't believe this. Of course, it's messy as hell, right? Oh, are you kidding
Go
me?
down. Go straight. When you get to the end of the road, make a left, and then that'll take you out.
I'll tell you what, guys. It does not take much effort to make things that actually work, right? That work.
Look at how long it took him to frickin' make a hamburger.
Yeah. And you're lucky you got stuff with that.
Yeah, bang a left, and then you get out of the way.
Oh, nice.
So anyways, guys.
No, I know you don't want that, Sherry. Give me that spoon.
Okay, yeah, take that spoon and...
I know.
Do you know, this is... See?
Sorry.
God sakes, man. Look at that, see? Okay. So I think now I can hold the phone so you can have your hands driving. Okay, watch this, guys. See? Look at this.
I watch him.
Okay. But yeah, so here's the reason why. Yeah, chocolate. There you go. I ordered the double cheeseburger with bacon and a chocolate shake. There you go. Love it, man. Healthy eating. So that particular model Ibanez guitar I have does not have an arm contour, and it's very comfortable for me to play because my wrist doesn't get like bent. The other Ibanez, my blue one that I found in the dumpster, I learned to deal with it, you know. You get good at what you practice at, you know. And so let's say I've got a Fender Strat, Mexican-made Fender Strat, a white one with the maple fretboard. Deb's got the Squire Strat, and her Squire Strat's made in Korea, and it actually went up in value.
I got a first act.
Mike's got a first act. I'm looking at that Hello Kitty guitar, though. I'm really thinking about buying that one.
Hello, Kitty.
That was right next to mine.
Yeah, the Daisy Rock guitar. Daisy Rock. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, we got a couple of Fender Strats. We have a guitar. Oh, we love the one my daughter calls it Cupcake. Michael B. That's a French fry, guys. Michael B's daughter calls it Cupcake.
You are going to want to get the far right.
That's what I was thinking.
So,
There you go.
yeah, anyways, I have a Laguna guitar. I'll you know what, I'll do a video with the guitars I have. One of them is a Manuel Rodriguez classical guitar. No cutaway, no electronics. It was going for $3,000, and we got it for $598 at Guitar Center in Naperville because they couldn't get it to move because it didn't look like my BC Rich Warlock. Now, in the world of classical guitars, all right, Sinner, have a good night, my friends. All right, we'll drive safe, buddy. Just for you, we'll drive safe.
Fast and reckless.
That's it, my friend. Yeah, you have a good night, buddy. But in the world of classical guitars, there are some with absolutely no electronics, no cutaways. Vintage sound. Yeah, how are you, my friend? How you doing there, buddy? Good seeing you. So the world of classical guitars, I've seen them sell for $20,000, $40,000, and it's the way that they're made. Because in that world, your traditional classical guitars do not use any electronics. They'll have the guitar mic'd, and when they play with an orchestra, those guitars, their sound projection has to be massive. So that's why you'll never see them at Guitar Center. You know, I got lucky with the one I have, and that's only $3,000. But again, we did not pay that. We paid $560. I can't remember. It was under $600. They kept dropping the price, and of course, I had five. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, good one, Mike.
That was a good one, Mike. So we literally had 5 guitars down, and all I did was plug the low E string, and that one had the most sound projection. Cupcake. Because we still keep our membership with Guitar Foundation of America. And they host these international competitions and conventions. You know, I know that some of it might appear to be boring for, you know, and I love rock and I love metal and that. But you want to see some of the world's greatest guitarists, you watch some of these people. Now, some of them, they're not doing any shredding. There was a guy I saw playing the Flight of the Bumblebee, all finger style, on a nylon string guitar, classical, the entire piece. Flawless, man. Absolutely flawless. And,
You can do it too.
yeah, well, yeah, I got on my other channel, it's about, 10 years old or something. I was playing at a Borders bookstore.
Like 17 years old.
I don't know, something like that, yeah. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but you'll see, I'm playing one of my pieces of music on my Cordoba, and then I go into excerpt of Flight of the Bumblebee. But the solo I'm playing off of one of my originals called Gulf of Mexico. I had a guy in Ireland ask if I would transcribe my solo. I thought, okay, he paid me good for it, so, I transcribed it. And a lot of times I improvise, so I'm watching my video, I'm like, okay, I got an idea exactly what I'm doing, right? So, cool. Anyways, so within my guitar solo, in my original song, I played like 160 notes within 10 seconds, and you could hear everyone clear, very, very clear. And then I bust into the Flight of the Bumblebee, and then I go into some, traditional classical Spanish guitar styling. But that is how I was able to develop my technique. And I remember being so mesmerized when I saw guys like Al Di Meola and Paco de Lucia, and I seen them live back in 1983. And I remember going home that night, when I was still living in Chicago, and I was up all night practicing my ass off, man, because I wanted to be just as good as those guys so bad I could taste it. And they were very, very strong influences in my playing. But I still always had my own perception of what I liked, like Robin Trower, I'm a big Robin Trower fan. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I'm a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Eddie Van Halen is great. I'm a big fan of him. He blew down the Doors back in the 70s, man. When Eruption came out, that did it, man. But I still always had, when I'd buy stuff, that's why I always try to get my sound. I never really owned a signature guitar other than my Gibson Les Paul, and my Epiphone Les Paul. I had a chance to buy a used Ibanez Paul Stanley model back in 1985. I could have bought this thing for $250. And I didn't. Boy, what a stupid. My friend Andy, one of my best friends, Andy Rios, great guitar player, man. He had an original 1979 Ibanez Paul Stanley model. $500 he paid for it. Great guitar. Great guitar. But we were heavily into the jazz fusion, and all that styling opened up, and that's why I started building my technique. And then watching guys like Di Meola play like that on an acoustic guitar that fast and that clean, it blew my mind, because there's no legato playing, there's no hammer-ons or pull-offs, there's no trickery, and I love the tricks because that is part of getting the sound. And when I seen these people play like this, it's like as raw as you could get and as unbelievably fast, and you hear every note, but they had melody too, so it wasn't all, it was not all speed and go and no melody and no music making, so that's what intrigued me. So, yeah, my background in classical guitar, I took one classical guitar lesson just to see what it was like, because I was so an individual, I guess, and I'm not saying stuck on myself, because I'm okay, you know what I mean? But I wanted to see how far I could push the envelope if I had to, if I was stuck on an island all by myself, what could I do? How far could I go with this without any help?
Oh, you are on an island. We're in Southwest Florida.
Yeah, we are on an island right now.
According to my
Yeah. So anyways, there's an accent. Look at, oh no, guy, I don't know what's going on here. There's no snow, there's no ice in Florida, and there's accidents. I don't understand it. It's called pay attention, right? But anyways, so it's kind of like you guys too. You'll buy a signature guitar, but maybe you'll put your own gauge strings on it. You'll buy a signature amp, but you'll dial in your sound. That's basically how I am.
Closed.
Thank you, sir.
So, Mike, thanks, man. I'm blabbing. I got my phone. I got Deb's phone.
Yeah,
my
no
phone.
problem. I'll do your job for you.
See, that's
No problem. I know what it's like to be a husband.
It's gone water, yeah. Do you feel that Eddie Van Halen is the last groundbreaking guitar hero. You know, I would have to say, yeah, Steve Vai's a great guitarist. Great guitarist. Joe Satriani, he's keeping the instrumental guitar alive, you know. Yngwie Malmsteen, great guitar player. I never met him personally.
Prince was a great guitar player.
Prince was a great guitar player. He was a great musician too. He had his first album called For You. Man, he was rocking big time. But as far as the last groundbreaking guitar hero, as far as groundbreaking, yeah, I'd have to agree Eddie Van Halen, because think about it. When he came, everyone couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing to get that sound. With the 2 finger tapping and everything, you know, and the impact was very, very strong. Now, another good guitar player that you don't really hear too much of, but he's still out there touring, is Tony McAlpine. And the first time I heard Tony was on a radio station called Z-Rock, and they were playing his first album, Edge of Insanity. I think it was, yeah, Edge of Insanity, and it rocked, man.
Was Z-Rock on AM?
Z-Rock, no, it was FM, and then they did have an AM station, yeah. Now, this guy just mentioned about Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. Yeah, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, man. Awesome. He was awesome. He still is awesome.
We had Z-Rock down here, that's why I asked.
Oh, yeah, Z-Rock was everywhere, yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe says, I love Maximum Security from Tony McAlpine. That was a great album. Everything he did. Plus, when he played piano, he was playing full-on classical pieces, man. And why that guy does not get more recognition, it's just beyond me. No, I don't want to, make anything negative, but it's out there, the bias. It really is, you know. This guy's a great guitarist. And what I remember about a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, that they were doing a fundraiser for Tony because he had colon cancer. And I think he pulled out of it now, which is great, because that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. But, yeah, to get back, yeah, he did have with cancer. It was last year, Joe, but yeah. Because I do remember seeing videos of Steve Vai and everyone doing like fundraiser for Tony. And so he had to get surgery done, so he was out of the scene for a while. And then recently I seen a couple of videos where, you know, he's back in action. And he's still playing great, you know. It's tough, you know, it wears you out. And when I go watch these guys play, I try to take all that in consideration, because it's a very, very tough life. You're burning so much energy when you play. When you're done, it's like you feel like, wow, I just got to crash. You know, I don't want to pack up anything. Too bad they're not blow up guitars, like blow up furniture. Does anyone out there remember blow up furniture? You deflate it, and you could stick it in your Ford Pinto. You don't need a U-Haul, right?
We had a Ford Pinto growing up.
The Mavericks, the Comet, the Ford Comet.
See, now they turn the lights off.
See, they turned the lights off. We're passing Wendy's. Yep.
Freaking bastards.
Here comes RUI. Turn the lights off.
Turn them off.
Oh, yeah. Joe went's hearing his early albums, yeah. I was working downtown Chicago, man.
Mike's flipping them off.
And listen to Tony McAlpine. I know, right?
You like to thank his middle finger for always sticking up for him.
Yes.
Now that's better. Here, the finger. No, but yeah, Tony McAlpine, he's a great guitarist. But yeah, Eddie Van Halen, I have to say, was the last absolute groundbreaking guitarist, because Hendrix in the 60s was blowing people's minds of just having that raw power, man, you know? But here's the thing, like, all right, and then when I was involved in the jazz fusion, and some of my CDs, you know, you'll just hear them online. Some of them are very much geared to the jazz and the jazz fusion and totally different. And I respect all that, and I love all that stuff.
A kitty or some car.
Oh yeah, we got a couple kitties around this neighborhood.
See the glowy eyes.
Yeah, I see the glowing
One of
eyes
them's
too.
all black.
But now, some of your jazz purists, when they start knocking metal guitar players, and they try to tell me, and I'm like, wait a minute, if you guys don't, if you're not playing that, why are you knocking them? You know, it's kind of like, you know, you're old and you're retired, and now you want to have to buy a Maserati, right? So you buy like one of the fastest cars out there. You get a chance to take it on the Autobahn, so you could drive like nuts, and there you are, barely doing 25 with hands on 10 and 2. You know, I mean, really, really, open it up and have a good time, man. Speaking of opening up, I'm gonna help Mike with the. Now, just that. See, oh, Deb's gonna hold the phone while I do this. Sorry, guys.
Good night, guys.
My singer's saying good night, my friends. It was a good night. It was a good night indeed. Like they say, a friend with weeds is a friend. I gotta go there.
Hey, I'm that friend with weeds.
We'll take you outside. You can see we're unloading Mike's stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
My glasses are all fogged.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, mine too.
I drive with mine, our readers.
Can't see anything.
I know, right? Holy crap!
Of course
Where's
it
the
is.
light? Oh, shit! Strobe's the target, right? That's your bag.
See, Vintage Sound says, "See you, Mike."
See ya.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can't see.
I know,
either.
right? See,
Oh, the lights are on. We're just packed to the
we're
roof.
packed to the roof.
I think that's all me.
Okay, you got your this stand, Mike? Oh, wait a minute.
That is-
I got it.
Oh, you got it? You got both of them? Oh,
One here.
you got your food?
Yes, I do.
You got your food, you got your sandwich.
Yeah, I'll help you with this, man, because your hands are...
Don't drop that burger,
Good
man.
night, guys.
Good night.
Hey, Deb, you got the keys. Wait a minute. No, I'll make sure I got keys, yeah. So we don't lock the door.
Oh yeah, this car's not like the other car. The other car the doors will not lock if the key's in the ignition. This
Thank
car, they will. Yeah, you're welcome. Good night, Mike. Awesome show. 2 weeks.
Yep.
Back at the Blue Monkey. This is Mike's house. Got a cute ranch.
Right? Oh, my God.
Him and Lana. And their dog, Betty.
Great show, brother, man.
Oh, you're making Betty jealous. You're hugging her daddy.
Oh, okay, brother. Good night, man. Have a great night now. No,
All right.
come on, dear. Have a great night
Good night,
now.
Betty.
Yeah, Betty.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I
Yeah.
get
Back to the car.
back to the car. Okay, guys. So,
And if you want to flip it back to your face,
oh,
push the camera in below.
I gotta put. See, I got hands full. I was swinging around. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah.
I'll do it now. Swing it.
Did it swing around? Okay, I guess it swung around. I'm really apologize about this, guys, because you know how it is. Guitar players, we can't do anything except pick strings. Oh man. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and that. So, is there? So, all of the guitar players that's out there, guys, what are some of your guys' favorite? Because I know. Let's see, I think it was Vintage Sound mentioned, Richie Sambora. Yeah, you know, let's see. Richie Sambora, even Bon Jovi. Yeah, Doug. Yeah, alcohol. Yeah, see, that's something, man. You know, I gotta do this, guys. My glass is all fogged up, you know. I can't read anything. See? Yeah, you know. Hey, how you doing there? Let's see. Lana Barrett. Hey, guys. Hey, Lana. Thanks for tuning in. This is the aftermath of the gig. Stopped at Steak and Shake and driving our way home.
Drop Mike off.
Dropped our singer off, Mike. Deb and I now we're heading home. And everything is dark because, you know, down here in Southwest Florida.
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. Yeah, there's no street lights. It's the jungle. It's the swamp.
It's the jungle. It's the alligator.
Oh my God.
It's snakes. It's bobcats.
We-
It's
oh.
bears.
And And then we got this thing called swamp fog, and it gets foggy as hell. You can't see 2 feet in front of you, man. Yep. Oh, yeah, Joe. Phil X is doing a good job. Yeah, Vintage Sound. Phil X is filling in for Richie Sambora. And Phil X is a good guy. He's a funny guy. He's got a great personality. He's got a lot of energy. He enjoys life. He also was doing demos for Yamaha for the THR-10C, and that's the one I got. And I like actually all 3 models. But what I like about the 10C is that it's geared more for the classic amps, the custom amps, with some of the analog sounds and that. So it's got a great Fender twin type of sound. And Buddy Guy, the Blues Bunker, hey, doing there? Buddy Guy, that is... Oh, Buddy Guy, thanks for subbing to my channel. Yeah, Buddy Guy is a great guitar player, man. Now, my wife has been to Buddy Guy's Legends, the old Legends, downtown Chicago. He moved. He's got another... I never been... I had a chance to go to Buddy Guy's Legends, but with the guys I was jamming with, who, the drummer and the keyboard player, they're on Michelangelo's, one of his albums. So we were putting something together, and then my old drummer works for Jam Productions, and I was had a chance to meet the guys in Dream Theater. So let's see, I met John Petrucci, I met the singer and met the drummer, Mike Portnoy. I didn't meet the bass player. I met the keyboard player, not the original keyboard player, but Derek Sharinia. You know, I hope everything's going good between his ears now. And I'm gonna say between his ears, because this freaking guy, I have a hard time with these people. I'm sorry, but I have a hard time with a person with an ego that's so damn big that you put your dress on one leg at a time like I do. You know? So if he was having a bad day, okay, we all have a bad day. I meet him at the tour bus before the show, and I'm walking up, I say, hey, you're the new keyboard player for Dream Theater. He goes, no, I'm not. And he said it with such an attitude. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You put your pants on one leg at a time, and okay, if you're having a bad day, you need your space in. No, I'll respect that. Don't turn around and bullshit me. You know? I just have a hard time with people like that, because there's no need for that.
I fell asleep at the concert.
Yeah, the Dream Theater kind of that fell asleep, because the sound was just like a drone. So Deb and I see Derek Serinia, and remember at that place when he's the guy that yelled at the sound guy, hey, what happened with the lights? Hey this, hey that, you know?
That was him?
Yep, that was him.
Sure.
The guy, he was, again, being jerkwad. You just want to kick him in his ass. You know, and here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Maybe it's just my personality. Maybe it's just because there was that part of me when we had to do construction, and we had our shop, and we had to step it up, and we had to call the shots. And you call the shots, guess what? You're also responsible. If you have employees, they make a mistake, you get the phone call, you're the bad guy, not the employees. It's your name on the truck, you're responsible. So it's all of that. So there's a part of me that has a hard time with some whining crybaby that doesn't get their way and wants to make an ass and just totally disrespect everybody and step over everybody and call people names, make them feel like they don't matter, when those people in the audience are the ones, like earlier, they work 40 plus hours, 60 hours, they bust their ass, and you mean to tell me they don't matter? Huh? Who's buying the CDs? Who's buying the t-shirts? Who's going out there? See, without an audience, There's not a show. Now we have situations like that, but we put on a show anyways. We have you guys. You're number one. Every single one. If there's one person in that audience, they matter to me. I'll tell you that right now. Because I'm not better than anybody. Yeah, Phil was playing for 10% of what Richie... Yeah, Phil X. I saw an interview with Phil X. I cannot remember if this girl, Mary Spender, she's a good guitar player. You know, she's good. British girl, interviewing him, and Phil X said basically he got the call, he was getting a gig, and John Bon Jovi, I guess, called him and told him, says, all right, Richie might do part of the show, but I want you to be ready. And Phil X said something to the fact that he had to learn his songs, and here's how it really is, guys. You have to always be ready. Always. Because you never know when that call is going to come in, and you might go on this tour, you might go on that tour, or you might not. At least you covered all your bases. You're ready. You're good to go, you know? So that's why that was the article I saw with Phil X. But there is a lot of great musicians. I remember when I met the guys in Dream Theater. I had some of my stuff in the pawn shop. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm a human being, right? So, and I had nothing for those guys to sign. Now, John Petrucci, he's just kind of laid back. Dave is in Florida and at the Blues Bunker. Oh, no, when we were in the gig we just did, it's called the Blue Monkey. If that's what you're referring to, Joe. If not, then I'm reading it wrong. I read a lot of things wrong. Anyways, but John Petrucci, I remember mentioning to John that he kind of reminded me of Al Di Meola, and maybe John didn't like that. I don't know. Well, maybe he was just burnt out, rough gig. But he was still polite, The singer was polite, but Mike Portnoy, he got a kick out of signing my pawn ticket. He says, I know you're a musician, because only a musician would have their stuff in a pawn shop. I go, yep. I said, I'm not BSing anybody here, man. So, he was a good guy. But when we saw Dick Sharinian at the drum clinic, or through the drum clinic at one of the theaters, Tony McAlpine was his guitar player. And I told them, I said, if Derek will not let Tony play that piano or that keyboard, because Tony will tear him up, man. He will tear him up. And, some people are just like that. Now, maybe they had a really rough situation where we see them as that. Oh, I was asking if you ever played in North Carolina. No, actually, I haven't. The places I played at was Texas. We did quite a few shows in Texas. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, Tennessee, Arizona, Mexico, Canada, Canada, Ireland, Belgium, and then now Florida. And we're just like conquering it, I guess, Yeah, so, it was a lot. And you know what? All those shows we did was 100% self-funded. 100%.
Yeah, sure.
And, in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just last year we were in Colorado.
Yeah. Estes Park.
Yeah, Estes Park. We did a wedding there,
Yeah.
but we did something else in Colorado too. I can't remember. Then we stopped at Red Rock, and my guitar is always with me. The acoustics over at Red Rock, you could literally stand in the stands where people would sit, and if you had acoustic guitar, you'll hear it vibrate everywhere, man. It's just so unbelievable. That place has got it's the way it's set, So, Yeah, we've saw a lot of places. Yeah, Vintage Sound, no tour manager, bleeding you dry. Yep. Here's your catch-22, and here's why I say Plan B is like it's better than Plan A. Plan B is you take charge and you say, you know what? If you're gonna rip me off, you step aside. I'll take the driver's seat. At least I'm not gonna screw myself over. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, you with Plan B, is it tougher? It's tougher in a sense that you won't have the fancy tour bus and this, that, and the other. But don't ever kid yourself thinking that, well, now I'm riding the tour bus. Everything's free. You see, everything's taken care of.
What does he mean by tougher? Is Plan
No, I'm
B-
saying I'm saying that. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I thought
yeah.
it was a question.
No,
I thought
no, I'm
somebody
saying that.
asked if Plan B was
Yeah.
tougher.
Yeah. If a person thinks that the truck driver, let's say you got a huge show where you got even just one semi truck, right? And then you're on the tour bus, and you're not driving that tour bus. There's a driver, right? Who in their right mind is gonna do things for free? And plus, you're driving a bus, and I know these buses are diesel. You're driving a truck. A lot of trucks are diesel. They're almost all diesel. Some trucks are automatic, but they're diesel. So if you've noticed the price of diesel fuel, it's more than gas, right? And I'm saying this not to talk down to people, because I know there's a lot of people you know immediately where I'm coming from. But there's some people, they seem to forget this because of chasing a dream. And I'm not trying to knock this, but these are the things you got to think of. It's no different than when you go on vacation and you drive, let's say, 1,300 miles, right? Within that 1,300 miles, aren't you going to have to fuel up? Of course. Isn't that going to cost money? Of course. Aren't you going to have to pull over and get some rest? Of course. Now, if you're going to check in a hotel, that should cost. That should cost money. If you sleep in your car, well, at least you save money there. Aren't you going to get hungry? Of course. These are the things that always seem to be forgotten about. And when you're on the road, everything costs more than when you're not on the road. So, where do you think that money is going to come from? You know? It's going to come out of your pocket. It's going to come out of your pay. That's what it's going to come from. You're the star. It's your name. They're not seeing a tour manager on the stage. They're seeing you on the stage. So, the Plan B really works. I actually like the Plan B better than the Plan A. For the simple fact that we get in control. And now, if it works for somebody, they get that opportunity, absolutely go for it. You know? You could build, do things that you could build to help build your name, because you become a product, and in business, you want to sell your product, and you do have to talk up your product. Merchandise and your own CDs, bingo. That's where you make your money. And believe it or not, people will still buy CDs. Down here, I call them the C-nagers. You know what a teenager is? Senior citizen, that's like a teenager. No one wants to get old. And a lot of us that were born in the 60s, so it kind of gives you our age, we like simplicity. We can figure things out eventually. But it's like when you stop at the rest stops to use the bathroom. You go to wash your hands. You're doing this, You're going like this, and you're going like that. No wash the trash to place, so we have control on things. I understand that. But doesn't it give you a headache when you just want to wash your hands? You can't. You're there for 10 minutes. It's like you're doing pantomime, You like the teenagers, yeah, that's when it sounds. Oh, is it a trip, man? It is. I absolutely love it down here. But it is a different world, because everyone's retired, and it's like their kids are grown. It's back to party time. So And think about it. If a person is in their 60s, right? So that means how old were they in the 1960s? You know? It's back to hitting the bong, the triptans, playing the records backwards, still buying LPs. Sonia, still buying, how are you doing, Sonia? Still buying LPs. You know? I love the way the LPs sounded. Remember, this is how I used to learn songs. Yeah, everyone wants to move to Florida there for retirement. Yeah. It's a big retirement state. It gets hot down here in the summer, man. Oh, crap, does it get hot down here. But I remember playing albums, and then you know how each song is spaced, right? I could almost tell where the guitar solo would be. So I take the needle, the arm, and I drop it right, and I get it right there in the middle, and there's the guitar solo. And then I had to, we had the record speeds of 33, 45, 78, and there was another speed I can't remember. But if I couldn't slow it down, I'd stack like a bunch of pennies or something and kind of tape it to the needle, so like try to slow the thing down. Or I just take my finger on the turntable and slow it down so I could listen to what the guitar solo was, so I could learn it. Wore out a lot of albums that way too. But yeah, so we like simplicity. No taxes, yeah. All right, yeah. There's no state income tax. Florida has a no state income tax, and so does Tennessee.
And no tax on food.
Yeah, there's no tax on food. Yeah, down here. It's weird, man. If it's 99 cents, it's 99 cents.
The candy bar is 99 cents. It's 99 cents.
Yeah. Oh, thanks God for YouTube. Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah, you're right. There you go. 16 was the other one. You're right, Vintage Sound. You're right. My dad had a Zenith stereo, Zenith. The quality goes in before the name goes on, and stuff worked, and it was simple. We didn't care about high def or anything like that. This is what I mean. And guys, this is what I say when I think I put a video not too long ago, does the sound boxing, the small amp sound boxing. My first amplifier literally was about this wide, so it's my finger and my thumb, if you see that. Let's say it was about 4 inches wide, if that. And it was about, 16 inches tall, and it had a little tiny, a 4-inch speaker. And it would click and go on, and that was it, And it's because we didn't have a lot of money to buy expensive stuff. So we made out best with what we had. Although I'll tell you what, I had an old Ibanez TS-808 tube screamer. When it first came out, 1980, I paid $35.
Let's do this.
Oh, Deb's gonna do
Still
something here.
talk.
Oh yeah, back.
Just hold like this.
This is our gates. We're gonna enter where we live at.
Gates of Babylon.
Yeah, the gates of Babylon. Joe, if you had the opportunity to tour for a big outfit, would you do it? Or,
Money's the name of the game.
money's the name of the game, Joe. And as far as that, because this is what it is. You're out touring. You're out there for a while, right?
Actually, let me cut in here.
Yeah, Deb's gonna cut in on this.
The labels
Pig nose
and
amps. Yeah, pig nose
the
amps.
record labels, the big companies, they know about David. We were told this from one of our friends up north who toured T.D. Clark. T.D. Clark,
Yeah.
he's on Facebook, he's on YouTube, like his channel.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great
Support
guitar
him
player.
as well. He told us that the labels know about David, but no one's touching us because we're not gonna go on a cheap contract. And,
Yeah, we'll
and
negotiate.
Money is,
Yep.
it comes down to money.
Comes down to money, and there's a thing called a 360 deal. Be careful of those 360 deals, my friends.
Yeah.
Be careful with them. You will sell your name. You won't even be able to go out there and use your name.
you don't own the rights to your masters
Yep.
with the 360 deal. If your music is used in any video
Yep.
games, any commercials, all that money goes to the label. A 360 deal is the worst deal to sign, but the labels are pushing it.
They push it.
And people are signing it, and they're not even lasting a year on that contract, and they come home and they're heartbroken, and they hear their music being played.
And they can't do anything about it.
And they are getting no money for it. The label's collecting everything.
How sad is this, guys? Listen to this. I mean, how sad is this? Here's a worst case scenario. You finally get your big break. You tell your wife, you tell your parents, you're going to go out the road. This is it. Finally, our ship had come sailing in. Then you get out there and you find out that you're not making jack shit as far as money. And you're out there and it's costing and it's costing and it's costing. Again, you have to eat. You gotta bring change of clothes. You gotta do laundry, right? Because you have to do your meet and greets. Who wanted to talk with somebody and they smell bad, right? And I'm not trying to be gross or anything, but these are realities. And so you go through all this and then you get crushed and you come crawling back and it's like you're back to square one.
There's a frog on the tree. See him?
Oh yeah.
See right there? Where did he go?
Oh, he went around the other side.
Oh, he went.
So anyways, I mean, how terrible is this? And I'm not trying to be such a downer, but these are the things nobody wants to talk about because they mask it like it's a win-win. And again, there is a lot of good people out there and there's a lot of good opportunities out there, but you have to always keep in the back of your mind what would happen if it doesn't work out. It's kind of like this, guys. How many of you would take your entire paycheck and go to the casino and bet that you will double your income? You know what the casinos, you know why they're so successful? Because they're in business to win. The odds are in their favor. And like, you know, Deb has always said a few times, if you cannot afford to lose it, just keep that in mind. And again, okay, guys. So I again, you know, when I say the things that I say, I don't say it to be like, oh, well, Dave didn't get his way, and that. No, you know, that's not how I'm saying it. And you know, people could have their right to have their perception, and I respect all that. It's just that I really do care. I don't want to see people get screwed because these people that say they always paint the pretty picture. They always paint a pretty picture, and if they really cared, don't you think that they would tell you that, oh, listen, guys, we want to work with you. We would like to get, you know, we think you're talented. We'd like to work with you, but here is a situation that could happen. You know, are you prepared for this? Do you understand? You know, if not, we understand. We just want to be fair about it. Of course, they're not going to be fair about it. It's like a politician. You know what I mean? They'll tell you everything. They're going to promise you everything. As soon as they're in, that's it. You don't hear from them again, right?
Oh, you want to spin that around again? You can see your face.
Yeah.
See our
Let me see.
lanai.
There we go.
There we
Oh, yeah.
go.
Jeez. Sorry, guys.
Right on your schnoz. Joe!
Yeah.
Look at the baby.
Okay, Deb's gonna.
Oh,
Deb's
we
gonna.
gotta
There's
do
our cat.
this.
Let's see if you can see him. Let's see if you
See
can see.
Moses. Say
There he
hi,
is. You see that little
Moses.
face there? There he is.
There we go, the hand. The hand on the window.
So, you guys, this is why we have a cat, because when we were doing our road shows.
Mommy and Daddy are home.
Yeah, that's so true, Dave. Yeah, and you know, again, guys, this is not to. Oh, Deb's trying to turn this around. Yeah, this is not to discourage anybody for sending demos out and, you know, contacting labels and that. Because again, like I said earlier, there is a lot of good people out there. There's a majority of them that are good. But if there's a situation like this recession we just had, the crash of 2008. I mean, everyone ran out of money. They all ran out of money. And a friend of ours was he worked for Harris Bank. He was in charge of doing bank loans. And he told us in the city of Chicago, sorry guys, I don't get my hand all over, In the city of Chicago, when they would come in and do the movies, if they didn't have any funds, they'd go to the bank and borrow money, and then of course pay it back. But guess what? The banks were not loaning out the money. So in that situation, how bad would it be if you quit your job for your job that you could forecast your annual salary, and everything's taken care of, your bills are taken care of, your car payments taken care of, your insurance, everything. And all of a sudden, you quit that job because you could go on the road, and someone told you it's a win-win, and all of a sudden, here's the economy, it crashes, and everyone runs out of money, and now you can't go back to your job because they ran out of money. Although that's the sad thing that happens. So the whole point, the only thing that's for sure is that nothing's for sure. So you got to always have that plan B. But yeah, I mean, if we had an opportunity, and it was going to be a fair opportunity, then yeah. But if it's going to be shady, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I cannot go down sucker's lane. I've heard too many BS stories since I started playing, and in the 80s we'd send out demo tapes, and then we would try to hook up with this person that was going to get us signed with Geffen Records, and everything was always down the toilet. And
that was a good question. If you got offered to go on a big tour, would you take it? Because we've often talked about that.
Yeah.
If you were offered something, we would get immediately we'd contact our attorney.
Yeah.
And have our attorney start doing the negotiations with the record label and see if we could come to an agreement with the amount of money that we would need to earn from this
Yeah.
tour to be able to say yes. We couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't say yes
We couldn't
and
say
be homeless.
and be homeless because all right, a lot of people will jump on a tour. They'll jump on a deal like that, and when you're young, this is where it works for you. When you're young and you got that time, and you got your parents that'll help you out and say, okay, let's give it a shot. And if not, then now you got to go to school or join the military or something.
That's a good point, and it is based on age too.
Yeah, it is based on age,
depending on what contract you're willing to take.
Yeah.
If we're still living at home,
yeah,
mom and dad in the basement, no bills. Yeah, we can take a contract. Sure, go ahead. Let's go for the experience. Let's enjoy this. Let's have a good time. Because when we come off road, we're going to have to figure things out anyway.
Yeah.
So, but at this stage in our life, to accept something,
it better be good.
Yeah,
it's got to be good, because if not, then I'm just sorry, because you go on a tour, and then if you're going to make let's say you're going to make 30,000 that whole year. Let's say that you still have your day job and you get the offer, but if your day job is paying you guaranteed 60,000 every year, why would you quit that to go on a tour to make 30,000, and then it's only that 1 year? You don't know what that following year is. It's like you're going backwards.
Now, not to say who this is about.
Yeah, I'm.
But we did have a friend that went on a tour about 2 years ago. Had a sponsor. The sponsor paid for the van for them to tour in.
Yeah.
And the deal was that their income was their merchandise sales. A tour with just merchandise sales as your income. He signed the contract. He took it. And it was such a big deal for them just to put together enough money to go eat at Wendy's. Wendy's was like the big major meal for them on this tour, and they were only gone 10 weeks on the tour. And when they came back, he thought he had made some money until he got the bill in the mail for the merchandise. So after he paid the merchandise, then he said, actually, I made no money on this. In 10 weeks, I made no money at all.
And that's the sad reality. And it is not to discourage anyone. It's just to say, hey, there's a heads up, guys. This is what's going on out there. And you would be better off you taking charge. And, let's say you have to take time off. The guys that play in the band Fates Warning, I love that band. They're a great band. How about it, Joe? Yeah, isn't that sad? You're making more money driving that rig than these people are on tour because the guys in Fates Warning, not all of them, but most of them, from what I heard, they still have their day jobs because they can't make any money out on the road. So they have to wait to get their vacation and they go on their tours. You know, Michael Anthony from Van Halen, I guess he's got a spice factory because we were talking with him.
Isn't your friends in Nevermore? Nevermore,
Oh.
aren't they the ones that live at home because they
No,
are
who is that?
waiting? They asked you to play in the band.
No. Was it Rival?
Was it Rival?
Yeah.
Rival.
Yeah, Rival, yeah. Now Rival, they went over and they did the gig. They know Nevermore. They did the open air metal fest in Germany, and they meet Rob Halford and all this, and they asked me. The other guitar player was leaving for a while. They asked me to sit in, but the other guitar player was going to come back. And the other guitar player liked the way I played. And I figure, I don't want to rain on his parade because he's a good guy, Anyways, so I'm asking them questions about, these tours and that. And I'm not really getting solid answers. And it's not anything on the guys. The guys are really good guys. They're relying on what people are telling them. And they're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, we're going to get this answer. Wait. Deb, thank you, sweetheart. My wife is also my roadie. Look at this. So there's nothing worse than being told, stick with it, guys. We're going to call you in a couple of days, but make sure that you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be ready to go. You're going to be ready to go. Wait. How long could you wait, man? How long could you wait and bills pile up? Because that's what's going to happen. And I don't mean to be sounding so negative like this, but it is such a reality. Nobody of these people want to talk about it. Now maybe they're going to blackball me because I'm just like spilling beans or whatever, and that's fine. And I'm not trying. And notice I'm not dropping names because I don't want to. You'll know who these people will be, because they'll be the type of person that will never. They will not look after your interest. They're only looking after their interest. And anyone that's going to be good in business, understand that everything's a two-way street. Everything is. If I do you good, you're going to be my customer. You'll do me good, right? If I help you out, if I invest money in you, right, that means you become their employee, because they're going to have you go out and you're actually making them money. So when we had our HVAC company, we tried to take care of our employees. And then our employees take care of us by doing a good job. You see, it works together. But a lot of times these people, they don't tell you things for a reason because they don't want to let the cat out of the bag. And, I'm going to go ahead and say, I said this a little early, but this was just a couple of days ago. I was talking with a guy that helps with these festivals down here. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. And, it's the shock market. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Oh, it's sad. It's sad. It's like, when we were kids, we'd buy record albums and how cool would this be? And wow, that looks great to be able to do that. And as you find out, shit, when you were working at that grocery store, you were making more money than this guy and the guy that you were idolizing on the album cover, It's like, wow, really? Anyways, so let me ask you guys a question. And I know you guys are going to be really fair about this. If you saw a duo playing and they did not have a band, would you care if they had a band and they're on a big 60-foot stage, but they're putting on a show? Would you really give a rat's ass if they have a band? Or would you say, you know what? It'd be kind of nice, but I think they're having a good time and I'm having a good time. I mean, would that really bother you? And the reason why I'm saying this is because for some strange reason, there's this guy that's doing the sound down here, and he's saying that you got to have a band and you got to have this. And I simply just ask the question, it's a yay or nay, And I'm not going to be begging to play at a festival that's not going to pay. I mean, are you kidding me? And then to try to tell, then he offers me to join another band. Well, what about my singer? Well, what about him? I didn't come there. The whole thing is I asked a simple question. It would have been a simple yes or no. Done. And I'm not gonna go home and cry and wet the bed. That's fine. At least you're being honest with me, and I respect your honesty. And now I see, and that's fine. And I'll respect that. And I will still think you're a good person because you laid your cards on the table. But no, they passed the buck. The person that wants to be known as the owner, now there's a problem. So the owner has to do damage control. Now all of a sudden he doesn't want to be the owner. And you know why he doesn't want to be the owner? Because he's got to do damage control. Because when you're the owner, you're also responsible for the problems. So it's nice to want to be the owner of something, but then you have these responsibilities to clean house. And all of a sudden they don't want to have the responsibility to clean house. So they pass the buck. And this is what goes on in a lot of these type of deals. That's why everything's so, you don't get a straight answer. Everything's like so mysterious because these people are just, they pass the buck and then they throw you under the bus and then that's it. And because there's so many people desperate to make it, they know this and they could say, well, you know what, that's your problem, not my problem. Isn't it something? But after all that, guys, I just love playing music, to me, it's a gift from God, and to be able to bring joy and see people's face light up, and then all of a sudden those same people who will play and they'll pick up the guitar and man, they'll totally kick ass on it. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there watching them and like, oh, this is cool, Everyone shares in this whole guitar community. And this is right now what I think is absolutely the best time to be a musician, even though that guitar it's not dead, but there's been a decline, But what's so nice about this is that all you guys out there that are not gigging, you guys got it made because you don't have to come back and drag your gear out. You could set up your shop in your front room, in your living room, in your shed, whatever. Yeah, Joe. And just plug in and play. And sometimes, Joe, you'll be using your little Roland Cube or the little Black Star, and you put your phone right by it, and boom, there it is, man. I mean, I like Yngwie Malmsteen, and I like his playing in that, but have you ever seen his stage show? Well, we've been to a lot of his concerts. He could play. All right, I'm going to show you. This is like what they call our lanai, right? It's not real big. It is about, okay, Deb. It's about 12 by 12, maybe. Maybe it's a 15 by 15, He'll pack it with nothing but Marshall stacks. Why? Why do you have to have all that? Where you guys could sit there and you could pack with the little mini Marshall stacks and crank it up and boom. Don't have to worry about dragging gear out. Don't have to worry about wear and tear on your vehicle. So YouTube is definitely the new platform. And the thing is, the industry is watching. Excuse me, guys. How you can tell the industry watches, when you go to the music stores and you get, let's say, Sweetwater catalogs and you watch all the reviews, everything now comes with a USB port. Everything you could hook up to the computer. A few years ago, you only had a few items, a few effects that would hook up to the computer, and that was basically it, Now it's like they're starting to see this, and they're starting to see what the next trend is, and guess what? It's YouTube. And that means everyone out there in YouTube, you guys could sit home, and you guys could just plug in and play. And I'll tell you, if I ever got burned out from doing these shows, that's what I would do, I mean, I have my CDL license. I've said this before. Now it's summer break, and I did sign up to do summer school routes and that. I actually love driving, man. I really love it. It's for me personally, it's the perfect getaway to kind of clear my head because I practice every single day and I play every single day unless I'm sick, and there are times when you do need that break from it. You just need to, if you don't go on overkill, It's kind of like eating pizza. I love pizza, right? But how many times could you have the same pizza, right? So anyways, guys, I appreciate this. I didn't just keep everyone up so late and that. And I think you guys are the absolute best. You know, I'm big fans of all your guys' channels. Um, I'm still getting, you know, myself used to all this, and that's why you see me just with the phone and just sometimes whatever comes to mind comes out of my mouth. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is never meant to degrade anybody, man. Never. I'm not better than anybody. I don't know everything. I just know what I know, what I've experienced, and when I say it's just coming from my experience. And a lot of you people got experiences out there too. You know, so what if a person plays only a couple of years? You're going to be doing something that in a in a different area that I haven't been yet. So, you know, your experience does matter. You know. So, anyways, you guys have a great night. You have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and respect everybody. And Joe Winch, you're an awesome guitarist, man. You are a big inspiration, man. Very big inspiration, and. Actually, all of you guys are, and ladies, Miss Sonia, and you never want to say, you know, you guys, because you're out there, and I know you learning guitar, I think you said, and things that, you know, nature. But yeah, you guys are a total inspiration, and my wife, same thing. Yeah, I know, right? So yeah,
Like humidity out.
that's a humidity out here. Yeah, it's good something. So, anyways, guys, you have a great evening. Until next time, God bless, rock and roll, and always hold the doors open for everybody. We love you all. Take care now. God bless. Bye bye.
Are you done streaming? Okay.